There's a weight on shoulders like yours, even if it's invisible. You carry not just your own dreams, but the hopes of teams, investors, markets, families, and futures still unwritten. That pressure feels like a quiet storm inside, doesn't it? Like no matter how much is done, how many battles won, there's still this gnawing feeling that something crucial is missing. Something whispered about, but rarely named. It's that haunting silence right after a win. That restless midnight hour when no trophy or data point can fill the void. Here's the truth nobody tells you out loud. What separates the founders and CEOs who rise far beyond the noise isn't just vision, hustle, or brilliance. It's something far quieter, far deeper, and almost entirely forgotten. What if everything you've been told about leadership, growth, success, even freedom, is a trap? Not a physical cage, but a maze made of invisible mental shackles shaped by society, expectations, and your own habits? The world claims to celebrate freedom, yet hands you a rulebook disguised as a roadmap. It whispers equality, but rewards safe, mediocre paths while smothering audacity. You don't lack talent or drive. No, what's missing is something overdue for rediscovery. The ability to be ruthlessly sovereign in your mind and spirit. The forgotten skill of untethered self-mastery. Every day, millions swallow the illusion that freedom means fitting in while playing by the rules of someone else's game. Systems that were meant to serve become prisons of protocol. The world no longer nurtures the radical, the rare, the sharply brilliant mind ready to rewrite reality. Instead, it channels energy into noise, distractions, and shallow comforts that anesthetize the nerve endings of the soul. This is the silent killer of world-class leaders, losing themselves in the manufactured comfort of consensus and mistaken security. The true skill you need is not a new tactic or a fancy framework. It's reclaiming total sovereignty over your own will. Not power over others, but mastery over your internal world, the only battlefield that truly matters. Imagine having absolute authority over your fears, doubts, impulses, and distractions. Imagine being the architect of your reality, choosing what to believe, who to be, which battles to fight, and which fires to tend or let die. That's not just clarity. That's freedom. That's what turns a good leader into a transcendent one. Here's why this is so hard. Nobody teaches it, nobody trains it, and society actively undermines it. Schools, workplaces, networks, everywhere you look, people are programmed for compliance, not sovereignty. They hand out "this is how we do it" instructions, expect you to toe the line, to moderate your ambitions so they comfortably fit the average box. But the edge, the breakthrough, comes from the few who reject comfort and dare to become more. The truly world-class CEOs are not those who follow the crowd. They're the ones who learned how to become their own commanders, how to isolate their will from the madness surrounding them and focus it with laser precision. This skill changes everything. When mastered, your decisions move from reaction to creation. Stress collapses into clarity because your mind no longer plays tug-of-war with contradictory voices. Resistance that once felt like a mountain becomes a door unlocked by resolve. You move fast, decisively, freed from the prisons of doubt and noise. How do you cultivate this? It starts with ruthless honesty. Look at where your will weakens most. What consumes your mental energy but drains your power? Here's a brutal truth. Distractions are poison. They are the seduction of false freedom. Social media, never-ending emails, shallow interactions, all designed to chip away at your sovereignty. Say no. Say no again. To reclaim your will, you must protect your mind like a fortress. Next, question everything. Every belief, every truth you carry. Why do you believe what you believe? Is it genuinely yours, or a borrowed conviction from someone else's agenda? The rare leaders who transform reality are almost obsessive critics of their own frameworks. They don't accept good enough because settling is slavery. This means rewiring your mindset to refuse compliance with the status quo, to be uncomfortable with comfort, then align deeply. The system is vast and noisy, but the power comes from linking with the few who burn differently. Find that painstakingly. Connect with people who fuel your fire, not drown it. This is where the exceptional stop being isolated misfits and start forming a network with explosive synergy. It's not about scaling to everything. It's about honing in on those who mirror your intensity, your refusal to compromise. Patience is the final frontier. Sovereignty isn't an instant upgrade, but a lifelong practice. Eternity favors those who play the long game, who withstand the temptation to surrender to quick fixes or easy popularity. The world rewards the loud and fast, yes, but it builds empires for those who persist like shadows behind the storms, unseen but unstoppable. It might feel lonely. It will feel lonely because solitude is the environment where sovereignty grows. But remember this: the loneliness of true leadership is just the space between connection points, the silence before the network is wired and fires in unison. The system forgot the exceptional because it never made room for them. The world you want to build, the one where individuality sharpens into collective power, can only emerge from reactivating this forgotten skill. This is a call to break the illusions around success and freedom. The giants you admire aren't just lucky or talented. They built their own internal empires first. They make the rules inside their minds before changing any rules outside. They dare to be different, to question everything, and to endure the unnecessary noise and fatigue that comes with being on the edge. It's time for burning, not burning out, but burning alive. To fire your will so fiercely that it becomes a beacon in the dark. This is not about making life easier or sweeter. It's about reclaiming what life was cut out for. Purposeful, sovereign, unstoppable becoming. Those who decline to live by borrowed lives, stare down the comfort of conformity, and choose the sharp edge of clarity are the ones who will redefine what's possible. No one can hand you this skill. No teacher, no book, no system will give you sovereignty. It's a path you travel by ruthlessly cutting ties with everything that dilutes your power, by refusing to fall for the world's lie of freedom wrapped in chains, by choosing every day to rise above the noise, to unlearn what limits you, and to become the true captain of your fate. Here's the last secret. The power you think you need outside, more money, a bigger network, external validation, is inside already. Sovereignty is your birthright, your deepest freedom. When you ignite it, you don't just survive the storm. You become the storm that changes everything. Now is the time to stop waiting for permission to be uncommon, to banish the quiet, unbearable tension inside, to join the few who refuse the easy route, who reject the rules forced upon them, and who dare to lead a life forged in their own fire. Not for them, not for any flag or system, but for the ultimate prize, ownership of themselves, and through that, the power to remake reality on their own terms. This forgotten skill is more than survival. It's a revolution inside you that ripples outward, a liberation that the world desperately needs, even if it won't admit it. When this skill wakes within you, when it takes root and commands your will plainly, you become not just a leader. You become a force impossible to stop, an agent of a new world where freedom isn't given. Freedom is created. Own it now. There's no better time.